what's great about sports. This is what the greatest thing about sports is. You play to win the game. Hello? You play to win the game.
Thing isn't everything, but the only thing. In our business, there is no second place. Either you're first or you're last.
Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready?
And now, the W with Walls in the Crew.
Good morning.
Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM.
Good morning.
And Facebook Live.
Good morning. Right back like we never left. Another Saturday morning with the W Show, Kansas City, talking sports and pop culture. If this is your first time checking us out, we greatly appreciate you making us a part of your Saturday morning. And how's everyone?
Good. Man, had a night off, so I'm like, I feel rested.
Nice.
Yeah. Costa got me last night, but I got up. I got up pretty early and made it to the gym still. So
yeah,
I had to get up out.
Yeah, hopefully you're drinking enough water today, man.
Oh yeah, that's why I got Sir Fiji right here.
Oh, you got the big body.
Yeah.
You were definitely down bad yesterday then. That's the big one.
I mean, it don't take long to, get right. How was you guys' week?
It was good. It went by fast.
Yeah, I'm glad the warmer weather is here. We just got to get rid of that up and down.
Thanks.
It's been killing my allergies this week.
I like the up and down though. I do. It's as long as it doesn't go over 80. Like it can drop to 60, between 60 and 80. Yeah. Like I'm good.
Allergy season.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So the other day I was like, pollen. When they talk about pollen count, it was super high.
Yeah, pollen count is extremely high.
Yeah. So I get you some Zyrtec, my friend.
Oh yeah, it's definitely in the tuck.
Okay. All right. We have a lot to talk about on today's show. FIFA. It's coming. World Cup will be here in 2026. So it's the state and local leaders, they have plans and money to prepare Kansas City for the World Cup coming. You guys excited about that?
Heck yeah.
I mean, y'all should be. Y'all the soccer fans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely excited.
Yeah.
I'm more happy that we as people don't need to put any money up. Taxes. Think they still gonna get us? And one way or another.
Yeah.
One way or another.
All right, John Morant. Oh man, he appears to flash a gun on Instagram Live again, 2 months after the strip club incident.
Some people never learn.
Yeah, we'll talk some NBA playoffs and former KU guard Frank Mason. Yo, boy.
Yeah, rock shot.
He's kind of upset about some trophies that were taken out of a storage unit that he did or did not have. We'll dive into that a little bit later. Plus, coming up in about 30 minutes, we'll have our sneakers of the week during our Hated or Love It segment. Let's get to today's headlines.
And now, here are the biggest sports headlines from this week. We bring them to you every Saturday morning on the W with Walls and the Crew on 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
I'm definitely excited about this one. State and local leaders announced plans and money to prepare Kansas City for 2026 FIFA World Cup. Q, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, this is really cool. We'll have the stadium by then. So I know you all are excited about it.
Yeah.
That might be one of those weekends I skip town.
Really?
Yeah. Who knows? We'll see.
They said it's supposed to bring in upwards of like $300 million to the city.
A lot of money.
How is that in comparison to the draft? Do we know?
Oh, big difference. Big difference. I mean, the draft, you'll have, they said 300,000, but I didn't see 300,000 people. No. Like the World Cup, you'll have, depending on what countries that we get, or what grouping, I guess you say. That's the better term. But I think, so like get Mexico, US, let's just say Mexico, US, let's say like Ghana, or and like Guatemala, something like that, some kind of grouping like that. Crazy.
Definitely.
Especially because Mexican fans, they travel from Mexico, support their team, of course, US. And I think soccer FIFA would do something like that. I mean, they know that the Midwest is where it's at.
Yeah. And I mean, Kansas City is one of those cities quickly on the rise, especially after the draft with the Chiefs. I always want to put the Royals in there, but I don't think the Royals really have any bearing now.
Yeah.
But the Chiefs, the current soccer stadium, I think a lot of the hype around Kansas City is what Kansas City is becoming. I think it's really going to push more people here. And it's because what other cities are in America are hosting is Dallas.
You have Dallas, you have LA, you have DC, and you have like Florida or something like that.
Kansas City's the most affordable on that.
Yeah.
So people that aren't necessarily as close, I mean, you'll have your
well, now it's most affordable. But we're talking 3 years from. We're talking about 3 years from now, and we're talking people understand.
Most affordable.
Think so? People understand. I mean, it's the World Cup. Like we saw the draft, right? Like we saw how the value and things had kind of gone up just a small bit. But I mean, and I misquoted. I said 300 million. I meant 620 million in incremental economic activity.
And just being in the Midwest, like we're the central location for a lot of people to travel if they wanted to road trip it too. Like that's one less thing you have to pay for, flights, stuff like that. So I definitely think it'll bring in a lot of people, but I think it's kind of surreal or crazy to me because growing up, we would always go to the women's national team and watch them play at Sporting Park. And so now to really see the full force of the actual World Cup, I think is going to be kind of insane for sure.
Yeah. And again, it just depends on the grouping that we get. Because if it's like Netherlands travels. It all just depends.
I was gonna say most teams are gonna travel,
it
but
on the grouping.
I think a lot of the soccer fans in the Midwest and probably some in closer to the Northeast will probably start coming this way as well. So
yeah.
Again, I think the affordability here is going to be a lot more reasonable than your LAs, your DCs, and I mean in your Texas cities. So
very true.
And think about it this way too: you're getting a lot of corporate dollars coming into the city. Just think about like the amount of Airbnbs that you're gonna get. And I'm sure there'll be another hotel that'll go up between now and then.
Well, have you guys heard about the new laws now within Kansas? I'm not sure if it's Missouri implementing it as well, but they're trying to implement that you have to be a host. Like if you're going to be a host of an Airbnb, you have to be a resident of that property.
Oh yeah.
So I'm interested to see how that's going to affect all those different things that are coming in town.
It'll be ways around that.
Loopholes.
Because what classifies as your residence? I mean, I can stay there one day a week.
True.
You could just hold the address, honestly.
The deed, having the deed.
I don't think anybody's gonna be looking.
They're gonna look. Most definitely, they're gonna look. Because what happens is you have to be registered with the city. And I think since they're cracking down so hard on it, I think they're gonna be looking.
I mean, definitely, but by that time, nobody's gonna be looking.
Like one day a week. I'm staying here Monday. My other spot, I'm staying on Tuesday. My other spot, I'm staying on. I can have up to 7 properties.
True.
And if I have any more, it's like, all right, I'm staying here for 12 hours on Monday. On Tuesday, I'm here for 12 hours. So I think it's ways around it.
Loopholes.
And that's what I'm saying. There's ways around it. And
because I don't know what classifies as your primary primary residence if you're splitting the time over. Like I'm a nomad. You can't tell me where I'm living.
Well, in high school, people found ways around it for me to go to a different school, like using a parent's address, whatever it was. So, I mean, I feel like it's feasible.
I think that was bad, Jazz. No, I'm playing.
I'm saying, like, not that I was guilty, but people found loopholes before on that. So I'm sure they'll find something.
And that's the reason that they came up with those things called residency officers.
Yeah. Yeah.
True.
But you're also in the game of real estate, and
Yep.
real estate is who pays the most. So
Of
again,
course. Yeah, money talks. Any way you look at it, money talks.
Money buys blindness. Money buys blindness.
And as long as you're paying taxes, as long as I'm paying taxes on this here property, as long as I'm paying taxes on this here property, I think I'll be fine.
I guess we'll see.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like we just talked about this one because we did Ja Morant used to flash gun and Instagram live video again 2 months after strip club incident. Steve, your thoughts on this one?
I listened to the great philosopher Lil Wayne the other day, and he talked about this. And he talked about how, a lot of people are criticizing Ja, saying he's not gangster, he's not this, he's not that. And he was like, how do we know? How do we know what he is and what he isn't? Wayne was like, I grew up in my mom was a great parent. My dad wasn't in the home, but he was still around, and I was still a knucklehead. He said Ja grew up in a small town, and we don't really know what he's doing outside of, what we see on the court. Wayne also said, I just know him. I've known him from just, playing basketball. I don't know anything about him outside of basketball. And we're on the outside looking in. So we don't know what his life is like after he got that $260 million. Money can change people.
It definitely can. Definitely can.
Yeah, it definitely can. But I'm with that. Like, Ja doesn't come from that. And it's tough for me to wrap my head around it because we see the comparisons to politicians and how they use gun toting with them and their kids, sending out Christmas cards, and they use that to get elected. But Ja can't, flash a gun. One, he was driving. Two,
it was careless though, Q. That was careless.
No, and that's where I'm getting to. Two, my second point is gun safety. That should be overall. Yeah. But one, it looked like he was driving. So if you're driving, he was a passenger. Yeah. Okay. Either way, you're in a car. Yeah. And you flashing. I didn't see the point behind that. But then two, gun safety. Like gun safety rule, like there are certain rules in place so you don't accidentally shoot somebody.
That's true.
Yeah,
but true.
Yeah. And that's because I'm one of those gun owners. I don't mind, and especially with women, I don't mind taking them to the gun range.
Yeah.
Some women that I've taken, they always want to pose with the gun and do the cute thing, and I'm like, nah, you're not gonna do that with my gun. Yeah. Like, no. Yeah. Like that's not gonna happen. But gun safety for me, that's the thing that bothers me, because I'm like, you're not gonna be around me just waving guns in the air. Like, nah, I'm a little too cautious for that. But I hate for him to feel like he has to do these things, like show off the gun, show off. Like, you don't have to do that.
Exactly.
But also,
but how do we know that that's not him though? How do we know that that's not?
But in the age that at what, like, it seems like a power trip, or like you're trying to prove a point. Like, you're Ja Morant. What more point do you need to prove? Like, to me, okay, you're shooting a gun for whatever, street creds, respect, to scare somebody off. Heaven forbid somebody would try to rob Ja Morant. But like, at that point, it's like, okay, I'm more impressed by your like private security or something, because you're at that level. Like, if you feel so threatened or whatever, then you have the money to make yourself feel safe without flexing it. And it's giving a flex versus just being smart if you feel that in danger.
And here's the thing too. Like, at 23 years old, I was like
doing the dumbest
stuff. Like, this is a $200 million dumb thing.
Yeah.
Like, you got your homies you rolling with, you listen to music. The music then, when I was 23, is a little bit different now.
Yeah.
Like, it was totally different. And so he's listening to it. He has the gun in the air, but his friend tried to protect him from himself. Like you saw and whoever is recording these IG lives when people live is cold.
Right.
Because if y'all saw the video, like it was so fast. Ja pulled the gun up, his friend hurried up and turned the.
When there's celebrity involved, somebody's always recording a live.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but you had to really like, what was that? Let me rewind it back and then freeze it to know what he actually, because I didn't see what he had at first.
Yeah, you could see.
It was, but Q, it was so fast.
When somebody's holding a gun, their manner is like, it don't matter how fast you get it.
Yeah, I give you that. But here's the thing too, is like Ja has to understand his celebrity. He has to understand the fact that he has millions of kids. He's one of the faces of the NBA. The up and coming, he's one of those faces. When Steph and LeBron leave, it's Ja's league, or was, until he started doing his done stuff, and it still can be. But kids are watching that, so now you're gonna have kids going gun and thinking it's. I'm just saying they do what they see. And
I'm not putting that on Ja, because we live in a gun society in America. Like schools get shot up every day.
Yeah. But the thing is. Let's just say, and I'll take my son for instance. He may not have even been thinking about a gun until he saw Ja Morant making it cool. Let's just say, what I'm getting to is the fact that if Ja didn't get in trouble behind this, like if no one saw it but kids, it's cool to be rolling with your homie and listening to music and having a gun.
Again,
but that's been a thing for years.
Yeah, we see
it has, but
America has been a gun-toting nation. So I'm not gonna put that on him to say that. What if a kid saw it? Because kids see guns day in and day out.
I understand that,
but
they want to. But he's putting it more in their face. Because if they're watching him, let's just say my son watches Ja Morant. That's all he was watching. Like Ja Morant this, Ja Morant that,
and that's the thing. Like.
He wants to do everything Ja Morant was doing.
That wasn't Ja Morant's live, too. So then the kids would have to be following Ja Morant's homie.
Of course.
Which they may or may not have been. I just don't like bringing kids as a part of the discussion. One, because America is overrun with guns. So,
but you have to, though. Q, you have
to in the sense of looking at it through the NBA's lens. But again, every day, like kids can't even escape guns on TikTok.
Oh yeah, no, they play
Instagram,
Fortnite, they play Call of Duty,
and that's what I'm saying. Like kids aren't gonna be totally oblivious to guns until Ja Morant holds one. Right. But yes, in that sense, he needs to also keep into account that yes, you have celebrity, you do work for a corporation like the NBA, but also I don't see the NBA being any type of proactive to have any type of energy or any type of organization going after not necessarily anti-gun, but gun regulation laws. I don't see the NBA pushing for any type of systemic change or government change or anything. So again, that puts them in the spot of saying, oh, we don't want our players seen holding guns. But also the different politicians that you guys send donations and money to, they hold guns. They tote guns. They use it as intimidation. So part of the discussion is, why is it not okay for him, but okay for them? And not even them, you all, because we are the thems. And that's where it gets murky. And of course, everybody's not going to agree and think about the same thing, hold the same positions on the same things. But yes, if the NBA wants this message to be that they don't tolerate guns being seen on their players or with their players, then it needs to be, yes, you need to go and make this message clear to the government officials within the states that hold your different NBA teams, because Memphis is in Tennessee, and Tennessee, they just kicked out politicians in Tennessee. They tried to kick them, like expel them for asking for gun regulations. So again, like that, and that's I think that's where the situation gets tough because there's a huge double standard.
Yeah.
And getting to the bottom of that double standard is always thwarted because it's like, well, no, he's holding a gun. And it's the onus is always on the people and not the people in power.
I don't think that the NBA has they're coming down on Ja because he had a gun. Like, I mean, there's NBA players that, you know, you see him hunting, you see him. It's the safety behind it.
I mean, the NBA allows gun motions and celebrations and all that.
No,
so
I don't. That's what I'm saying. So I don't think they're coming down on him because he had the gun. It was on IG Live in a car. Anything could have happened.
No, all of that.
That's why.
Yeah,
that's the only
and that's where that's where my criticism is. Like, you in a car with the homies, and it ain't no gun safety around.
Right?
Like, nah.
And you know it was loaded. You know it was loaded.
I know it was loaded. I know one was racked in the chamber. I know it was ready to go. The safety might have been on if there was a safety on that gun. I don't know what kind of gun it was, but the safety might have been on. But outside of that, because in that instance, just let me out the car.
Literally, I was about to say.
I'll catch an Uber. Uber's way cheaper than a funeral.
Yeah.
Windows down, sunroof open. Like, come on, bro.
You're not about to be waving that around me, dog. Yeah. That's a little too risky for my liking. But
craziness.
Yeah, and my thing too is like, what's up with this whole? I mean, I get it, like Instagram Live, but dude, like your homies around you, like at what point is it like, all right, y'all, no more Instagram Lives? Like, not that solves the problem either, because then you're just not seeing it on Instagram Live. It might still be happening, but like your friends group, you're the people surrounding you, and yes, homeboy tried to save him, but like, why? Again, it's like giving. Are you trying to prove a point? Like, why are you hopping on Instagram Live every time you're around this man? Or why is there some type of Instagram Live or live streaming every time you're around? Like, I know that's a thing in today's society, having the live camera
with everybody,
and documenting. But yeah, like at what point is it like, I'm just with my friends? Do we have to record and put this out to the whole world at all times? Like, no, I feel like that would have been a conversation with my homies after the last incident. Like, yo, no Instagram Live.
But that was Jai's live though that he did. It wasn't his homeboys.
But still,
it was his homeboys live.
Wasn't it? You know, when he was in the strip club, that was his own.
Oh, in the strip club, I was talking about in the car. Yeah.
No, that was his own. So.
But I'm just talking 86 completely. Whether you're live, my live, we ain't live when you're around
Not today.
Me. Yeah, nah. I don't know. That's just me though. But since we're talking about NBA, the NBA playoffs are down to 4 teams: Lakers versus Nuggets, Celtics versus Heat. How we feeling? What we thinking? Q, your thoughts.
I know Steve is happy that his favorite team's in.
Man, you know what? Just watching the Lakers down 2-0, or 0-2, and Celtics down 0-2. It's crazy. Like, for both, if you look at how the Lakers played, they played well enough to win, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I'm looking at it this way too. The Lakers lost, however, they were still in the game, and they played horrible. Like, AD didn't play good. Bron can't hit a 3 to save his life. I mean, the Nuggets put them away. So I just think if the Lakers have to get 2, they have to win these 2 at home. They just do. So if they win 2 at home, I mean, I know it's one game at a time, but they have to play better.
Do you think that the minutes that Bron has played throughout the season affects him this late in the season, especially with age?
Yeah, it does.
I saw the stat that it was like 4 points. He's averaging 4 points in the fourth quarter or something like that. I guess the last 2 series or something like that. Do you see this as, I mean, of course you see it as him regressing, but do you see this as something that occurs, the next couple of years, that he's trying to stay in the league?
Yeah, and the reason why it's affecting Bron so much is because of his style of play, right? Like, when you get older, most guys, they typically hover around the 3-point line. Like, their jump shot is their friend. Like, that's just how it works. But Bron, he still wants to drive to the basket, impose his will on defenders, and use his body because he's so much bigger. And I think that's what tires him out. Whereas if I mean, I'm 38 and I'm gonna sit out there at 3-point line, I may give you a 1-2 and then pull up. I mean, that's what he's gonna have to transition to. And I don't think he's been able to do that. I mean, he hasn't, like I said, he was 0 from the 3-point line 2 nights ago.
And do you think they come back from this league? Because we haven't. I mean, we've seen LeBron.
And I want to put money on this, but I think Bron's going to come out on fire. And AD's, because so many people are at AD, and rightfully so. I mean, he's supposed to carry the team.
Do you think they drop any one of these next 2 at home?
Ooh, that's tough. I think they have to win both. They do. I mean, because then you're going back to Denver, and then Denver's up 3-1. And I don't think there's no coming back from that. So yeah, you've got to get both of these at home.
And then the transition, were you expecting this from Jimmy Butler? I think we always expect the best from Jimmy Butler. Were you expecting this type of success from this Miami Heat team? And do we put some of their success on Spoelstra?
Oh, yes, you have to. But I think their front office, the way that the Pat Riley and company, I mean, the way that they constructed this team, I mean, you really took Bam Adebayo and you kind of just tailored this team to be around him. Like, they've done a great job just bringing in Jimmy. Then they went and made some moves for some other guards. And yeah, man, I think, but are they a better team than Boston? I don't think so. I think Jason Tatum has to play better. I think, as a matter of fact, he played well. But I think Jaylen Brown has to play better.
And that was going to be my next question.
They're supposed to be this 1-2 punch, better than Klay and Steph. And I think that they could be.
Do you, and not to reduce them, but I feel like they're like a Bradley Beal, John Wall kind of situation.
Much better.
Yes, I'm saying much better than that. But I think you expected more from them. I think I don't because I don't want to say that I expect them to win a, but at this point, with all of the heavy hitters knocked out, and especially in the East and in the West, I mean, you're not facing a Suns team in the finals. Denver, yes, I think they could possibly match up well with Denver. I don't know who their answer to Jokic would be, but I don't know. I thought the Celtics were going to blow through this team, this Miami team, and them being down 0-2. That's
yeah.
I know that's a tough pill to swallow for Boston.
Jaylen Brown has to have more than 16 points.
That's all. He 16.
Yeah, he has to have more than 16 points. I mean, you're getting a lot from White, Malcolm Brogdon, Grant Williams has to play better instead of running his mouth. And I think their X factor and who it's always been is Al Horford. When he's able to hit those threes, he can make threes win. He had 2 points.
Yeah.
So Al Horford, you and I know everything is extra. Whatever you get from Al Horford is extra, right? He has to.
But also on the Al Horford end, I mean, is he able to keep up with these young guys on that Heat team?
Yeah, he can. He can. Just his style of play. I mean, he understands it. He'll go inside or he'll hover around the 3-point line because he like, hey, I ain't got to go down there and bang with them big dudes. I'll step out here, shoot a couple of threes. And I mean, that's been their key to success is when Al Horford out there and
I'm sorry, I mean on defense.
On defense,
on defense, do you think that wears him down at all? Especially with the young team that the Heat has. I mean, they're all over the court.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting Bam Adebayo. He got the Celtics. I don't know if I watched the game was last night, but Bam Adebayo got a rebound and with like a minute or so left, and I think that was the seal of the game for them. when Bam got the rebound that I think it was, I can't remember who it was over, but Bam reached back and I was like, oh, that was a great rebound. And didn't even put the ball on the floor, but went right up and dunked the ball. And I'm like, oh, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. So,
Yeah.
but and they got 2 in Boston. Like,
do you think Boston can steal one in
you have
Miami?
to. You have to. You have to go down there in Miami, and man, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But Jason Tatum has to play out of his mind. He's gonna have to score 50.
And that's what I was gonna say. If
it's a lot, but he's got to score 50.
If both their top 2 players, if they're on fire, do you think that he can really stop them?
No, not if Tatum's getting off and Jaylen Brown. Yeah, there's no. And got Jimmy Butler, who had 27, Bam 22. Then you had Caleb Martin with 25. I mean,
yeah, you got 3 guys over.
Duncan Robinson
points.
had 15.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, you've got to come out and play better. I mean, if you score between the 2 of them, I think if they can get to 80 points between the 2 of the Celtics, I think if Jaylen Brown and Tatum can get between 80 and 84 points between the 2, I think they'll win.
Now, former KU guard Frank KU trophies are up for auction, but he wants them back. It's complicated. He's tweeted on Sunday, unfortunately, while playing in France, I entrusted extra space storage with securing my unique items. However, in my absence and situation beyond my control and unbeknownst to me, my trophies, championship rings, and sentimental items were sold to a Gray Flannels auctions.
I blame Frank. I just and I went down a rabbit hole to just see so the Kansas City Star did a bunch of research on it and reached out to a bunch of people. They did their due diligence before they did they posted the story. And so they reached out to Frank. He didn't respond, but they did reach out to Gray Flannel Auctions, and they said, "Hey, we did what we were supposed to do. Anytime there's a storage unit that has not been paid, and that's across America. If you don't pay your unit, they're gonna auction it off. And so that's what happened. You either pay or you don't pay. I mean, there's no gray area. I mean, if you're paying your bill, then I mean, who is it left up to? Unless there was an agreement between Frank and the storage unit, like, hey, I'll be overseas. Can I just give y'all a little bit of money here, and I'll take care of y'all when I get back?
Yeah.
That I mean, if there was no agreement, you have no paper trail. So I mean, what more can you say?
But this goes back to my point earlier in the show. Money brings blindness, and
yeah,
he should let that money talk if it's that sentimental.
Yes.
And especially if they went through the links of making sure they did everything the right way.
Yeah.
All right, take care of us.
Yeah.
Like, there is a gray area. There's always a gray area, and it's just gonna cost them a little green.
Yeah.
So
I mean, at least say this would have been my thing. Can I give y'all the money that's owed on my storage unit?
You still have to grease somebody's palms at that.
I mean, because at the end of the day, I mean, the Gray Flannel Auctions there. I mean, dude's cool. He sounds like he's cool. He's like, hey, all we want is the money back that we paid for it.
Yeah.
Give us that money back. I think money can be exchanged like that, or if not, some of y'all KU folks with the deep pockets, the School of Business, the medical school, help Frank out.
Yeah.
I mean,
go run it up.
He was playing ball overseas. I don't know.
He was with Sacramento, then he was with Milwaukee, so he's got a little bit of money.
Right. You don't know what his situation is.
Yeah, you never know on that end, but yeah.
You would think if it, like Q said, if it means that much to you, you make sure it's taken care of.
Pay your little for your storage unit monthly, or just pay it up.
And I think that's just where I'm at. He's just gonna have to pay it up. And again, with him having the not necessarily sturdy, but you were NBA dog. So, and I think that's what people. I think people looking at it that way. So that's what comes with it.
But it's crazy though, because you see, like, if y'all go to the auction, see like the trophy on there, Frank Mason, the rings, Frank Mason, everything had his uniform, full uniform. You see somebody down at the play in Ivy Arena with a Frank Mason full KU uniform on. I'm like, hey dog, Run me that.
Yeah, that ball stopped right short of the hole. That is so crazy.
Now, Aaron Judge and Blue Jays address controversy surrounding sneak peek into the dugout. Let's see the home run first.
A long hold here by Jackson. And it's 2-2. All right, Buck. So you and I looked at each other at the same moment right when we saw this 3 pitches ago.
Watch what he's looking at.
Yeah. What is that?
Where's he looking?
Where's he looking? And he did
In
it
the
more than
dugout?
once.
Yeah. It's really, really unusual. But you and I both looked at each other when we saw that.
Like, did you see what I saw?
Yeah.
And you don't want to go, throwing allegations around without knowing, but
no. And you know what? I have had guys look back when I was catching, and you obviously could see it, and he couldn't see the catcher with the way he was looking right there.
Yeah, just did it again. And he pummeled it. He hit it a country mile for his second home run of the night.
Third time this season that Aaron Judge has hit 2 homers in a game, and once again he's looking at something, and then the next move is that powerful swing, and he blasts one to center field. I've not seen that before.
Steve, you're the baseball guy. Your thoughts on this one?
I mean, looking over at the dugout, that's not illegal. I mean, if I'm a batter, I can look where I want to. If I want to turn my head and look in the stands and still hit a home run, that's on me. It's not against baseball rules or anything like that.
Do you think they're stealing signs?
No, I mean for them to steal signs. I mean, he was looking over at the Blue Jays dugout.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was looking over at the Blue Jays dugout. And so the Blue Jays, I mean the Yankees manager had just gotten thrown out before he hit his first home run. And so what they were saying was, or what Aaron Judge said, is like, nah, I'm not trying to steal no sign. They were there chirping. So before I hit, I'm looking to see who's talking and who's saying what. At least that's what he said. So, and even if
that explanation better.
even if the Blue Jays manager is, tipping, throw a strike or whatever, figure out a way to be better at it. Like if Aaron Judge is able to look at it and say, oh, he's throwing me a fastball and I'm gonna hit it.
The catcher is calling the pitch, though.
Exactly. And now the Major League Baseball, they allow the pitcher and the catcher to have the device to tell them the catcher can hit whatever pitch that they want him to throw.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, they have that device. So you got to be better. Like,
yeah. And even still, like, if you have a combination of calls, I mean, how do you?
And you still got to hit it. Even if it's a fastball, you still got to hit it. You still got to hit it.
Because that one,
throw faster.
That one was low and away, and he still took it center field.
Exactly.
So he just had that pitcher's number.
Facts.
Clearly.
Now, Pat McAfee leaving $120 million fan dual contract behind to join ESPN. Hate it or love it, I guess.
Hold up. Say that number again.
120 M.
How much ESPN giving them?
Yeah. I think that was a big thing in question. You're leaving this deal where you have so much freedom with FanDuel. You have a lot of freedom to do what you want. You're able to say what you want because it's not it's not on a network, right? Like he's able to they curse, they say whatever they want. But now you're going to a ESPN that's more corporate. You can't. They're not going to allow him to say the things that he wants to say as far as like cursing. I mean, Pat McAfee, that's what people like his show because they can go and they can say whatever they want. It's like locker room talk.
Yeah, but
the frat house is basically what it is.
Yeah, but if you're a guy in broadcast, FanDuel is not going to give you the access that ESPN is going to give you.
What more access does he want? I mean, what more access do you need
to a fan base?
Oh, YouTube is fan base. That's worldwide.
Greater than that. That's what I'm saying. You need
no. What more do you need? I mean, he has the fan base. ESPN's not going to give him any more fans than he already has with FanDuel and YouTube. No, I don't agree with that one.
And he's getting older, and he probably wants more staff. Like,
no, he's taking the same crew with him. Everybody just runs the show is taking the same people.
No, that's what I'm saying. He's taking that staff, but also he needs more staff. Like, I think there's probably more that he wants to do. And ESPN is Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
FanDuel ain't Mickey Mouse.
Yeah. I think what I think is he got on College Game Day and they were like, yeah, we like you, Pat. We really like you. Why don't you come on with us? And that's how
ESPN is low key is probably less work. Low key, the lowest of keys.
You think so?
Lowest of keys. It's probably way less work.
Okay.
When you look at FanDuel, I mean, I don't want to take a crap on FanDuel, but if I'm looking at ESPN or FanDuel and I'm Pat McAfee, yes.
Okay.
Keep y'all 120 mil. Go find somebody else to do that. Because there's bags waiting at ESPN. And
ESPN's watching network TV anymore, though, Q.
All right. I don't, again, his viewership is on YouTube.
It is. That's what I'm saying. So so him going over there doesn't really matter. It don't really matter.
No, it matters. It definitely matters. If you had a choice between a Ford and a Mercedes outside, where you going?
Depends on what Ford it is.
Exactly.
And what Mercedes is.
Exactly.
Because if you're giving me a 280 CL or a Ford Roush lifted up pickup truck, I'm taking the pickup truck over a 280 Benz. I most definitely am.
That may be your preference.
You taking the baby Benz over a nice Ford?
Yes.
Says the pickup driver, Jazz.
Yes. On that note, we are going to take a quick break.
Why do I have a pickup truck? For work. Exactly.
Coming up, we'll discuss Mahomes NHL relocation Twitter post draws strong attention. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocer, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com. Purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us. We'll talk about whatever topic you want.
Talk about it.
Now, Arizona Coyotes to Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes' NHL relocation post draws strong attention. What do y'all think about a hockey team? What are we feeling?
We don't need a hockey team.
I mean, we tried it when they first built, when it was Sprint Center, before it was T-Mobile. We tried it. However, it didn't, I mean, not many people came. I mean, I think they were the Blues. We were like their team. We were like their city when they did like preseason games or whatever. It was the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then it was the St. Louis Blues. Like, but it didn't work.
We are hockey as much as and the demographic probably supports that we aren't a hockey
basketball town.
Or WNBA.
Yeah, WNBA be nice. I
think we are a basketball town. If it's not NBA, it needs to be WNBA.
Yeah, 100%. I would take NBA, WNBA over hockey for sure.
Yeah, and the biggest thing though, but when Patrick tweeted that, there was a lady that a friend of the show, Harold Kuntz, had put this tweet out that said Phoenix Sports. Associated, she said maybe you focus on keeping your little brother out of jail and less on our NHL team.
I mean, she's got a point.
Shots fired.
Nah, man, you don't say that, man.
Yeah,
leave that man's leave his brother out of it. Like,
do you know how much more crazy Chiefs fans would be if somebody else was trying to get the Hunt family to move their team to move this team to their city? Oh, please.
But you can't be of that status and say that. You got a brand behind you. You can't be that status and say that.
I mean, you could say the same thing to Patrick's brother.
True.
But
true.
She spotted a blemish.
No,
she spotted a blemish, and then she pointed at it.
All right, next topic.
And Chiefs fans got sensitive. This is what Tyron was talking about a couple of seasons ago.
No, I'm just that's the same as a video host that we would name talking about Andy Reid's son. It's the same thing. Like, why are you worried about football games? You should be worried about your son. Like that. That's yeah. You can't. Why would you bring that in? That's not that's insensitive, man.
Reach.
Yeah.
I mean, he's talking about taking their team from their city.
Nah.
Sounds like they want to keep their team.
I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Hey, focus on your family, bro. We good down here.
Come
now,
on.
Under project flagship ESPN preparing to move towards streaming service per report.
Mm-hmm.
Steve, your thoughts? I know you were talking about mainstream earlier.
Yeah, I think the ESPN, like I was saying in the break, everything is in the palm of your hand. So ESPN watching it on network TV. I mean, how are we watching the TVs right now? Through streaming, right? Like everything is streaming. YouTube TV, even though they went down a couple days ago, YouTube TV is where it's at. TV spin a bag with
YouTube TV, streaming, Hulu, Amazon Prime, whatever,
Netflix. All that,
whatever you want to call it. Yes, it is. But you still have a large swath of America that still has cable.
Who? I don't know nobody that has cable.
You don't know nobody, but
nobody in this room has cable.
But ESPN again is Mickey Mouse, and they love the rural Americans. And
so you saying all rural Americans have cable?
I mean, more rural Americans have cable than internet.
Nah, I can't say that.
They do. Sorry to break it to you.
I don't think so.
Like, do
we have any rural Americans watching the show right now?
No, there a lot of rural America. They don't have access to hospitals and high-speed internet.
True.
So you saying they still got the box TVs?
We aren't talking about TVs.
No, they gotta have smart TVs.
We're talking
internet.
we're talking about, well, yes. So you might not have box TVs. Yes, you go to Walmart and get you it's probably not a Vizio. It's probably something called Westing crap or whatever it's called.
Westinghouse.
But no, yeah, like that's yes, that is a statistic that they do not have feed in it. A lot of rural in a lot of rural America outside of the cities. And yes, that's still a target demographic for the NFL, Major League Baseball, ESPN, PGA. Like,
fair enough. Now we're going to take a quick break. Coming up, we'll just dive into our Hair Love It segment. Keep it locked in. This is W Show. We'll be right back.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and the Crew, where winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
Come spin with us, Kansas City. KC We Spin 360 is the coolest 360 video spinner experience for events. KC We Spin 360 is taking it to the next level. The 360 video spinner platform rental will be the life of the party. Everyone will be talking about their 360 video experience while bragging about it on their social media pages. The captivating slow motion and reverse effects will have your guests feeling like celebrities. The KC We Spin 360 video spinner can capture slow-mo videos, GIFs, and boomerangs from every angle. Specializing in corporate events, weddings, social gatherings, bar bat mitzvahs, school events, and fundraisers, KC We Spin 360 can be found online at kcwespin360.com. Come spin with us, Kansas City.
FPS Security is here to secure greater KC protection where you need them most. Social events, birthday parties, corporate events, weddings, small businesses, and more. Call FPS Security at 816-379-3600 or visit fpssecuritykc.com. Licensed, bonded, and insured. Reliable, fast, and professional service.
Football fans, you can't spell gate without Gates, and great tailgates start with Gates sauces and seasonings. Named synonymous with mouth-watering tailgates. When you make your list of tailgate essentials, add Gates sauces and seasonings to that list. Spice up your tailgate experience with that unmistakable great taste. Available in 4 tantalizing flavors: classic, sweet, mild, and hot. Find it at your local grocery, and if you don't see it, ask for it. Visit GatesBarbecue.com to purchase any of the great sauces and seasonings. Great tailgates start with Gates.
You're tuned in to the W with Walls and Crew. Winning isn't everything. It's the only thing. On 100.1 FM and Facebook Live.
Remember to interact with our show. Use hashtag talk about it. Message us. Talk about what topic you want.
It's that time for Love It or Hate It.
Hate it.
If we love it, we talk about it. If we hate it, we move on.
Starting off our sneakers of the week, we have the woman Air Jordan 3 Lucky Greens.
I like these.
I wish they were losing.
Decent. I rock them.
You can still get them, Steve. What?
The Jordan 5 Retro SD Craft, my favorites this week.
They're decent. I probably have to see them in person.
I just don't like the fabric.
Nike Dunk High Stadium Greens.
Cool.
These would be dope for Celtics game.
Mm-hmm.
Air Jordan 1 High OG Next Chapter.
I can't really get with these Spider-Man joints.
I'd rock them. Southern California NCAA Pac-12 faced complaint from National Labor Relations Board. Did I love it?
Oh,
I love it. I mean,
what's this about?
It's just basically student athletes, the classification of student athletes at their school. They're classifying them as student athletes rather than employees. Now the new rule is they have to classify them as employees, but I get it. Like, they don't want to pay taxes on that.
True.
Like, you classify them as employees, does that mean they get unemployment if they stop playing basketball or sports?
They use some of that money they're making when they couldn't pay.
And do they get health care?
True.
I mean, they should.
Yeah,
they making them money, so
true. Now, Raven legend Terrell Suggs shuts down David's request to wear his number. Hate it or love it. Let's see what they had to say about asking him to wear his number.
Suggs not letting me, man.
You asked?
Yeah. We had discussions, man. It got Bashadi involved a little bit, but look, that's above me. He's a legend, so I'm gonna stick with 90.
Well, you tried.
I tried. I had to try, but not going for it.
Yeah, I mean, just what you don't do. You don't wear a legend's number, like wearing 7 in Atlanta. You don't do that.
Somebody did though. So, but I mean, you could ask. He could say no.
Yeah.
Ex-NFL player Alex Smith questions defensive-minded head coach's ability to develop quarterbacks. Hate it or love it.
I love it. I love bringing up that topic.
Yeah. Hate it.
Hate it for Tom Kim falls into creek at the PGA Championship, gets soaked and covered in mud. Hate it or love it.
I love it. Go gotta get the win. Do what you gotta do to get the win.
Ace pitcher Trevor Mays. May says anxiety worsened with MLB's new pitch clock, forcing him on IL. Hate it or love
Pitch
it.
better, man. It ain't got nothing to do with anxiety. Just pitch better. Pitch better, bro.
Yeah. That sounds crazy, but I like the pitch clock.
Miami Heat's Jimmy Butler claims Pat Riley was willing to unretire Michael Jordan's number 23. Hate it or love it.
I call cap. That wasn't happening.
There's no way. Absolutely no way.
I call cap. He said, hey, I was down here. One of my recruitment things that Pat said, hey, if you want to wear 23, we'll unretire MJ's number.
Cap. I call complete cap on it.
I agree too. I definitely agree. All right, we want to take a quick second to send our thoughts and prayers to the family of Jim Brown, legendary NFL running back who left the game to become an activist. He passed away yesterday. So, thoughts, prayers out to Jim Brown. He was definitely a pioneer for Black people in sports.
Definitely.
And
happy birthday to Broderick.
Happy birthday to Broderick.
Not going to let another week pass.
Exactly. Happy birthday to our co-founder, Miss Leandria Harden.
Awesome.
Yes. She had a birthday too.
She did.
We're full of birthdays this week.
Celebration.
Y'all gonna have to do something next year and change this up.
But y'all know whose birthday's coming up.
Oh no.
Who, Jazz's?
Yeah.
Because mine isn't until next April.
Stop. We appreciate everyone who joined in on today's show. Thank you for tuning in. Remember, you can catch a rewind of our show every Monday, on Kansas City Radio. Until next week, we are out of here.
Peace.
The views and opinions expressed in the radio show by the host, guests, and call listeners are solely the opinions and responsibility of the original source who expressed them. They do not represent the opinions of the W Show, 100.1 F1 Kansas City Radio, Sideline Sports Talk, Team Wall Street Foundations, or affiliates.